Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by and checking it out. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much for your support of the channel. It means a lot to me. Today's topic is going to be just basic gardening. I get a lot of people tell me that they either are intimidated by it or they get sensory overload by all the information they're trying to learn before they start gardening. Guys, it's not rocket science. I know a lot of people like to make it into that. I'm just here to tell you it's not. All you really need is some good gardening soil. You need good plants or good seeds. You can get a small greenhouse online. They make them. They're like 5x5 for your starters. You can start them inside. Right here we've got some starters that we hadn't put out because of the weather not being quite right with it. Pretty much inexpensive. The trays and stuff you can get. These are tomatoes here. We just got them in here. They need water, and I'm going to water them before I get out of here. We got our cucumbers. We don't plant a whole lot of starters, guys, because we don't need that much in our garden. Cucumber plants will put off a ton of cucumbers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. That's going to be plenty for us when they start putting off. But the main thing really today's video is about, if you're just starting out, and I'm talking to the people that are just starting out, that you don't have to go spend a ton of money to get started in growing your own food. You don't have to get overwhelmed with it. I had a subscriber ask me which zone I'm in. I'm in zone 8 here in central North Carolina. Right now I've got my potatoes in the ground. They've been in the ground for about 35 days. The onions went at the same time. If you want to see how I did that, you can check this video out right here. And they're doing great. They really are. Everything's coming up good. You can see what 35 days difference makes. All of our seed potatoes looks like they came up with no problem. And our onions, they're coming up really good. The only problem is I have seen a couple of holes like that one right there. Nothing came up. And that's all right. That's expected. I've got about 50 more I put in a raised bed over beside the house. So, that's not going to be an issue. But they're looking good. We put those in at the same time we did the potatoes. Last year we got tons of onions, tons of potatoes out of the ground. We had a good garden last year. The soil we use is, we make our own compost with chicken manure, dried leaves, kitchen scraps, not food, but like eggshells, any greenery that's chopped off of anything, something like that, we'll throw in there. We cold compost. Now, a note to anybody wanting to do that. If you're going to use your chicken waste, you want to let it age for at least 3 to 6 months. The longer, the better for me, because if you put it right on your plants, right out of the chicken coop, you're going to burn up some plants. You're going to burn up your roots. It will kill it because it is so strong. You got to let it age out. So what we do is, when I empty the chicken coop each time, I start a separate pile. Like this year's got a pile. Last year had a pile. The year before that had a pile. We are working off of last year's pile of compost, and it does great. But you can't, I always let mine age out because it will burn your plants and destroy them. So do keep that in mind. We've got some broccoli in over here that we're about to water. I've got some cabbage. So, it's going to be time in the next week or so. We're going to be putting out our cucumbers, zucchini, some squash, green beans, things like that. Hoping the weather gets a little bit warmer for those plants to put out. If you don't have a garden like this, this is 35 by 48. me and my wife have it down to a science of what we grow. And when I say science, I'm talking about the size of our garden and what plants we plant and how many. But like I say, a lot of people get wrapped up in, amendments and, light, hydroponics, grow lights, all this kind of stuff. And that's great. I don't begrudge anybody for using any of that equipment. I'm just saying, for someone just starting out that wants to be more self-sufficient and get the hang of it before you go invest a lot of money, all you really need is some good potting soil. Good seed starter. That's what we use. And good seeds or good starter plants that you get from someone that's reputable. If you don't, a lot of people tell me too, they don't have enough space. Now, the container gardens, we use these for her herbs, and we've got several of them on the back porch. I put my elephant garlic in here, and I did a video on that, and a commenter told me that this is the first year I've ever tried elephant garlic. So we followed a book that told us to take the skin off of it, soak it for 24 hours, and then plant it. The commenter says I don't have to do that. So the next time I do elephant garlic, I will not be soaking it like I showed in that video, and I hope that works out. So that's the first plant for us this year. I had never done that. Regular garlic, don't have any problem with, but this one is new to us. So I appreciate the comment on that. If you are going to be using raised beds, if you're going to build them, do not build them out of treated wood, is my opinion. Because the chemicals they use in treated wood are meant to kill any bacteria that would rot that wood. Arsenic and some more, copper phosphate poisons they put on it. I don't want that leaching into my soil that my plants are growing in. Yes, I've got 2 raised beds over there I've had for about 7 years. This is probably the last year. They're barely holding on. I mean, part of them are falling off. I'll show you that in another video. But I just use regular pine wood, 2x12s, and did it that way. They're not going to last forever, guys. If you do build them, my opinion, I strongly am against treated wood for raised beds. I just am. I think it's not good for you. But you do what you want. The biggest thing is just, I want to let you know, if you're starting out on your journey, don't let nobody tell you how to do it. I'm not trying to tell you how to do it. I'm just showing you how I do it. If you're just starting out, a 5x5 plot in the backyard, some containers, get a hang of it. Buy you a good garden book. We use the Vegetable Gardening Bible. We just picked that up. I've got other gardening books that we studied for years, and but you have to understand, our grandparents, our great grandparents, and generations, they didn't have access to all the technology, and they survived off of what they grew. Some people don't like it when I do a garden video. They say it does not have anything to do with prepping. I ask them, I don't understand how it doesn't. Being able to grow your own food and be self-sustainable for your family, and knowing what goes into the dirt, knowing what goes into, your plants and your food, knowing what goes on your plants and your food. To me, that's a big deal, and that's how we like it. But anyway, I just want to let you know, don't get overwhelmed with it. Take your time with it, do some research, have fun with it, and learn to grow your own food. It don't have to be a lot. Start out small. That's what we did a long time ago, and I've even seen people use baby pools, drill some holes in the bottom for drainage, and they're growing onions in them, they're growing herbs, they're growing, not a lot of root vegetables like potatoes. They don't have enough room really to grow, but you can do broccoli and spinach, kelp, things like that. So anyway, guys, I do hope you're going to have looking forward to a great Easter. I know I am, and I hope you and your family are. And until next time, guys, I'm Tad, and we will talk about it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.